why we are here, what can you expect in this session, and for the candidates, what will be the output for you guys. So basically, you guys have a lot of companies to apply to, right? And it becomes difficult for you to figure out which companies are the best, or which companies actually suit what you are looking for. So that is where we thought, why not bring in some founders firsthand to share the stories of their companies, to share with you what they are looking out for in the candidates, and what you can expect after you have joined their company. So the internal story, the decision makers behind the scene, right? So you guys can feel free to ask your question in the comment section as well. And wherever you have any questions, we'll try to pick up the interesting questions and have them firsthand answered from these founders as well, right? And for you guys who are there in the Zoom call right now, so basically candidates haven't seen you or don't know you. For them, you're just one company, one good startup, one good tech platform that is there, but they don't really know what type of work they'll be doing after they have joined your company. So let's try to be as candid, as natural as possible. So COVID-19 has taught us that we are all human beings, right? We are not just some seniors sitting behind the scene pulling the strings. We are more just human beings looking for other team members to join our company and work with us alongside us, right? So that is what we want to show to the candidates today. Just very naturally, candidly answer the questions that usually are there, the questions that matter to the candidates for the career, right? So on that note, let's start with introducing our companies. You guys can give a brief about what you guys do, basic stacks, or the general philosophy of your company, and probably you guys can also show your workplace where you're sitting right now, how the candidates would expect after they've joined your company. So anyone can just go ahead.
Sure. Shall I go first?
Go ahead.
Awesome. So my name is Jayachandran. I'm the founder of Salcon Technologies. Sarcon is an award-winning 3D virtual and hybrid events platform, right? So what that basically means is any kind of event, be it a conference, expo, anything that you can do physically, we have a 3D virtual equivalent of that to do completely virtually or physically as well, right? And what I mean by that is, for instance, Singapore's first virtual property expo, or the world's largest blockchain series, right? They all happened on our platform, Sarcon, right? And so did probably the first 3D virtual wedding, right? Which isn't very common, that happened on our platform as well, right? So the product that you would be building has been used by the likes of Microsoft, HP, Pfizer, all the top players in the market, as well as startups on the other end, right? So the impact of your work, has that spread, right? We're basically a B2B2C SaaS company. So what you get to build is experience building for the enterprise, scalable, secure stuff, as well as the consumer side of things, where you need to build something that is more engaging, more intuitive, right? All of that, right? So that's basically it, right? And the space we're in, events, that is at the cross section of all the hottest technology that you have, right? Right from VR, IoT, AR, AI, even blockchain, right? Some of it we are working on, some of it not yet, but it's there in the roadmap, and it's even if we aren't working on something like that, it is a perfect playground. So there is a strong enough business case to work on that, right? So to summarize, right, if you are somebody that really loves what you do, you're passionate about what you're doing, you want to push yourself to the limit, you believe in ethics, right? Because that's something that we are big on, right? And you're good at what you do, right? I think you should consider Sarcon. Check our website out and our careers page to understand the kind of values that we have, and if it feels true to you, just drop us a line. We have a very egalitarian culture. Best ideas win over here. So I think that's about it. Did I miss something?
You can probably share your workspace right now, if possible. Are you guys sitting in office or working from home?
No, so we have our team as well as our customers all around the globe. So right now it's work from home. We do have an office in Bangalore that gets used by certain teams, but most team members, at least since COVID, have been working virtually. So yeah, there isn't really, yeah, so I'd be showing you my house, yeah.
Cool. I'll go next.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Gitesh. I'm the founder of WhenPlay. So WhenPlay is so it's a newly set up company. I don't have any such big stats or anything to tell you because we just got incorporated last month. Though we have been working on the idea from last around 6 months. And so WhenPlay is basically a career planning platform, which will essentially help our users to find their best career fit. So when I say career fit, like I don't mean jobs because I believe Cutshort is doing a good job getting people jobs. It's just that when I say career fit, it's like getting people realize what career they should be getting into, plan their career from scratch, or even if someone wants to make a mid-career shift. So basically, it's just getting answers to questions like, where am I going with my life, or if I can make a mid-career shift, what career would be best for me. So that all those things we are trying to help our users figure out. The other thing is that as the name suggests, WhenPlay, we are trying to do all sorts of things with venn diagrams. So we are helping people to the idea is to make help people make their own career venn. So it's like finding the right balance between the most essential elements of a of a career. When I say it's like what you love, what you are good at, and basically what's your purpose, why you want to get into what you're getting into, or what do you seek out of your life right now. So all combining all these things, we feel that a good match, a good balance of your interests, skills, and purpose will get you should be enough to have a high have a high probability at having a good career, a successful career, a happy career. So that's all we are working on. And yeah, we are looking for people whose interests, skills, and purpose match WhenPlays. And for now we are hiring across tech and growth domains. So yeah, people can feel free to check out our page on Cutshort. We have posted all the listings there. And yeah, so here's my workplace. And it's a pet-friendly office. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's your pet.
And let's
yeah,
take a pet.
that's my pet.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys have completely started working from, I'm sorry, Alessandro.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, just one thing for Jitesh, since all our candidates are interested in this part. So have you guys started working from office, or do you people support hybrid or anything over there?
Okay, so I would say for now, it's like all of them, all of the three, because I'm working from office. Some people who are in the city, they sometimes come to to brainstorm. So you can say hybrid over there, but mostly like 80% it's remote, because we have people working from Punjab, from Mumbai. So it's like mostly remote, but sometimes for people who are in the city, they are most welcome to come to the office space and work from here. Yeah.
Yes, Alexander, yes.
Cool. So I'm Ale. I'm one of the founders of Even, and we want to build the best health cover in India. That's the simple mission. So we want to be better than any insurance cover, any sort of practice subscription, or hospital subscription. We want to give a one-stop solution that covers you from doctor consultations, lab tests, hospitalizations, medical counseling, second opinions, psychologists, everything together, right? And we want to do that end to end. So partnering with the best hospitals in India, as well as having our own doctors to have a different model of medicine and healthcare that is more outcome oriented rather than profit oriented. So one of the things that we've already done is that here in Bangalore, we've gone live a couple of weeks ago, and we've created the first completely cashless outpatient system in India. So that means that in Bangalore, if you go to a Fortis, an Narayana Health, or an Aster hospital, you'll be able, if you're an Even member, to just scan a QR code, verify your identity with an OTP, and get whatever kind of service that you need completely cashless without having to first pay for it, then getting reimbursed. having to file a lot of claims and like certify your self-attest your bills and so on. And we have members that are already using that service. That's sort of the first integration that we've done. We're proving it out here in Bangalore. And in the long run, we basically want to change the way that healthcare works right now, where there's a lot of mistrust, both on the side of the hospitals that are often doing a lot of overtreatment and overcharging, as well as insurers that are often denying claims. So in the even model, we would have our own doctors, as well as some selected partnerships with hospitals that are incentivized to keep people healthy. In fact, because they're encouraged to manage people's health, they're going to be making more money if people are healthy, because they get a fixed percentage of our subscription. So the user pays us a subscription, and then a part of the money gets kept by even for the management and for our own doctors, and the rest goes to the hospitals themselves. And so right now we're looking especially on the tech side for React and React Native engineers. And we're not looking for somebody that specifically has background in healthcare. In fact, most of our team doesn't. We have a couple of people that have a long-standing experience in either insurance or in healthcare, but we are actually keen to bring a much more tech-friendly and digitally oriented, model perspective to healthcare. So we want simply the best engineers. You don't need to have worked in healthcare before. And I am actually in office. We're actually not really, we allow people to work remotely, but we do think that especially for an early stage startup, there's a lot of value in having a nice office where people can come together. So I'm just going to show you quickly. This is the office that we have in Defense Colony in Diranagar on 6th Main. I'm not sure how much detail I should show you, but there's some meeting rooms here, some plants. And we're soon going to be expanding the office as well. It's in a really nice location in Diranagar, close to a lot of restaurants and bars, and all the team lives around here. So yeah, that's what I'll say for now. But yeah, happy to answer any questions later on.
Okay, so actually a very pretty office, Alessandro.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you guys, like you said, you prefer people working from office, though you do support people who are only willing to work remotely as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so we obviously didn't force anybody to come to the office until probably June, due to first doses being rolled out and still lockdowns and so on. So I think until June, we really didn't have. We maybe had 20% of the people come in office only if they wanted to. Now we basically have a preference for people to be in office whenever possible. If somebody wants to work remotely for a couple of weeks and go back home, that's totally fine. I might have to do that at some point also, because I want to go back to Italy and work from there for a little bit. Yeah, I think just generally though, like we do prefer people to come to the office. We think that there's value in being able to have that kind of rapid syncing, and especially as we're in a very initial state. So the company was incorporated last year, about a year ago, but we got our first seed round closed in around February or so, and so we've grown. So we used to be about 5 people in February, and we're now 35, and so we're still, though I would say, very early on. And so at that stage, when there's still a lot of things changing and so on, then it makes sense to be in the same office. And we do think that we do want to select people that like the office vibe. We think we have a good, it's nice to be in the office. And if you're really keen on being completely remote, then we're probably not the right place for you. If you like the office and want to go back to the pre-pandemic days, then yeah, join us.
Great. Okay. So thanks everyone for that, sharing about your companies. Next thing,
Shweta, before you go to the next question, I have one question for everyone. You can just reply with yes or no. As a candidate, since we were talking about remote, as a candidate, let's say if I want a completely remote job, but I'm interested in your company and I have all the skills, should I apply to your company or not?
If you want it to be completely remote, 100% remote.
Yeah, completely 100% remote.
For me, no. Unfortunately, that's not something that maybe in a few years' time, but not right now.
Cool. What about you, Gitesh?
It should not be a problem for us. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Jayachandra, you?
It shouldn't be a problem, but as long as it's for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Shweta.
Yeah, so Anupran just mentioned the perfect candidate, right? So we all are looking for the perfect candidates to join a company. Now, for a candidate, how do they know that what is the company right for me? So to help the candidates take that decision, what are 2 things in your company that your tech members like? Like let's concentrate on tech side, because non-tech and tech perspective might be different what they like about the company when they're working for you. So from a tech person side, what do you think they like the most about about working in your company? 2 most like things.
Is this specifically about technical things, or could be anything?
Any, for a technical person, their experience or the tech side, anything from a technical candidate's perspective, what are the 2 things they would like working or they would like about your company when they work for your company?
It's a good question. I would say we have a pretty streamlined development process, at least right now, because we're a small team. We don't get bogged down into a lot of cleaning of Jira boards and ticketing and stuff like that. We have a code review cycle, a pretty streamlined deployment pipeline, and we try to deploy to production quite frequently, sometimes even multiple times a day. And so I would say, yeah, it's kind of the streamlined development process that doesn't add a lot of overhead, as well as being able to push changes frequently and seeing that you're making a difference to the users that we're serving on a regular basis.
Cool. I'll go next. So 2 things that tech people would like while working with venplay. So the first one would be that so when we are calling venplay as a completely DIY career planning platform. So when I say DIY means that everything has to happen on the website. Everything has to happen on the platform. So there's a lot of tech, as well as providing a good user experience. A lot of thought is going to go into the platform. So it's not just going to be like a brochure website, where we're just putting in just displaying various career options, and we are just giving information, because then we are just a content company. This is why I'm calling it a DIY career planning platform, because there a lot of interaction gets get added to it, a lot of thought gets added to it, a lot of user experience part gets added to it. So people it's going to be intellectually challenging role, and that's what I feel, that if someone is really into tech and they really are into it because they like doing it, I feel the most the common thing you would find is that they like to solve problems, and they like work that is intellectually challenging. So that is something which is going to be there working at venplay. You will solve good problems, you will solve problems that matter, and you will and the second reason is that while you're at it, it's like since it's a startup, we are just getting set up. So it's like you will be owning the process, you will be owning the product that you are building. So if you have that entrepreneurial instinct, like you want to start something from scratch, and you want to build something, and you really want to own the process, you want to call it your baby, is what we call. So yeah, these 2 things is something people would really look forward to if they join venplay. So yeah.
Right. So I think the first part that stands out is the technology that people are working on, right? Knowing that you're working on futuristic technology, you're doing something that is building the future, right? So in the industries that we work in, we are kind of looked up to from our clients in terms of where do they expect the ball to be next, right? Because we are kind of driving that. And the impact of what people are building here is seen across industries, right? So be it, say, the first virtual property expo of Singapore, where property dealers actually came and sold, say, 7-figure property deals online on our platform, or doing a 3D virtual wedding, wherein the wedding would otherwise have not happened because the parents were in India and the couple was in Australia, right? And the technology that you built has, made that happen, right? And then, you're working on something that has to be enterprise ready, that's scalable. You get a lot of responsibilities, right? And then you also see, end users, ending up users, right? The second one is, I think, the respect that you're treated with, the respect your ideas are treated with. It's a very egalitarian culture. Doesn't matter whether if you're an intern or a tech lead, the best ideas win, right? And that's the culture that we have. And then finally, because of the nature of our business, we have a lot of celebrities that come on our platform. So you'll have some event where Saurav Ganguly comes on our platform, and then that's quite exciting. And then you have, say, Chengpen Zhao from Binance. If you're a cryptocurrency fan, he comes on our platform to say the CEO of Xiaomi or the ex-RBI governor, right? And they all come on our platform. They see good things, and I guess those are smaller things that give you highs as well. Yeah.
So these were the positive things. Of course, these put a good impression in the mind of the candidates while they're applying for your jobs. Now moving to a little uncomfortable area or a little darker side of the things, because of course no company is perfect, right? How much ever we try to make it. So what are two things that your current technical employees, probably that will make it easier for you guys to answer, your current technical employees or future technical employees dislike about working in your company, in the technical team of your company? So probably in the past, if some technical folks have left because of those reasons, or considering to leave, or just a little uncomfortable with those things. So two such things about your company.
I can start again, I guess. We haven't had anybody leave, so hopefully there's not too many things that people find unpleasant. If I had to speculate, I'd probably say that, maybe sometimes people might feel like having a bit more remote work is necessary, but I've never said no to anybody that wanted to work remotely, just to be clear. So it's just something that we make clear from the start that sets the right kind of selection in motion. And then if somebody is in the team and they want to work remotely even for a month and they have a reason for it, that's fine. So I don't know. I think probably then the main thing is that, to be completely upfront, we do work a lot, right? So we have a lot of very committed people in the team that, without having to ever ask, they will work on weekends because they like the work and because they believe in the mission. And we are building a digital product, but we're also operation intensive as a business, because we're obviously dealing with healthcare and hospitals, and so there's constantly some requests or something to deal with, and we're now building the automation system that will enable us to kind of not have to do a lot of things manually or have to special case things, but that's in process. And while we're doing that, there's a lot of basically work that needs to go into building the platform and creating a stable system. And it just happens to be the case that we end up working a lot. So I think this is not special. I think a lot of startups are like that, and I would say, especially in the early stage, we try to find people that believe in the mission and happily work. Either because they want to know better, like the tech stack that we work with, and want to do research on the weekend into the technology and how to improve it, or because they want to kind of get ahead with the sort of requests that they received. And so it ends up being the case that we work a lot. And I think if it's something that we do it willingly and nobody forces us to. And formally, we don't actually have a cap on the number of holidays that you can take at even. We try to have a very kind of individual empowered culture where people can they can use their best judgment and then do as they want, as long as they inform their team members. They can take as many holidays as they want. They can work remotely for as long as they want, if they have reason for it. And basically, it turns out to be the case that at least right now, because it's so exciting that we're live. We see how we're already making an impact on people's lives, that they are able to visit the hospital and get things checked out that they wouldn't normally get checked out because they wouldn't be covered. And so this is already kind of bringing benefits to their health. Everybody's very motivated, and that maybe the slightly negative side of that is that you end up maybe not having so much time outside of work. So it's kind of up to you whether you see that as a problem or not. But it's good to be honest, because there's things that we've taken a stance on as a company, and that's that we like office culture, and right now we're very mission driven.
Yeah, I will go next. So I think the nature of our business is such that it's very time sensitive from time to time, right? So events, they happen on a particular date, they happen for a few hours. And then, so with that in mind, right, there are instances where you might have last minute requests from customers that come in, right? And we are very, very customer centric. So what that does is we have something like a 80% referral rate with our customers, right? But the dark side of that is many times you just cannot stick to your standard 9 to 5, right? Now we've been very lucky that almost all our team members are people who go over and beyond with a smile. But then it does become challenging, and to that end, we are hiring more people. We are hiring better people, smarter people, to join our team, right? But yeah, I mean, to wrap that off, we're very, very grateful for all the people that have that have been part of this journey and continue to be part of but we have not had anyone quit because of this, touch wood. But the next part we do see attrition is so we are quite selective in terms of who we pick, right? Especially when it comes to the tech teams, across teams, in fact, yeah. And there is a sort of auto attrition that happens because the kind of people that you're working with and the way we work, the processes that we have, if you're not good at what you're doing, it comes out, right? And then so those are the people who end up quitting, saying that, okay, you know what, this is probably not my league or something like that, right? Because we have someone on our team who's a national level chess player, someone else who's passed up a job at Google to join us, right? We have people with patents. So I would say those are the two things.
Cool. So yeah, the two things that I find, so touchwood, yeah, so no one has quit yet at WhenPlay. We are still new. So but the couple of areas where I feel not many people, not everyone are comfortable, is that the first one is that people don't like iterations, or they don't like to work on one thing again and again. So as I said, that we are just getting set up. So and user experience is like it's at paramount. So it's like people build certain things, and after that, if I come up to them and we say, okay, let's scrap this, we need to start working on this again, and we need to iterate, we need to make it better. So, and I think that's like an incremental process that company will like that is one area where we cannot compromise. And yeah, like and many people are like, some people may look at it as a problem, some people may think, okay, let's let's go with it. So I think iterations, continuous improvement, having that ability, or that heart to scrap something off completely, or work, like if you have spent 8 hours figuring out something, and after that, if someone comes up and tells you, okay, there's a better way to do this, and you can maybe just jump to another solution. So people should have that heart to take that up. Secondly, so the thing is that at startups, it's like you don't have 4 persons for doing one job, right? You have one person doing 4 jobs. You have people, someone who's working in let's say marketing. That person will also look at content or sales, or writing any cold email or something. So it's like, it's like very fluid over here. So I don't know if many people would appreciate it. So if anyone who is looking for a job or a company that will provide them with a standard operating manual and with a, certain very set criteria of working, then WhenPlay may not be the best place to work at. But apart from that, I think you will get the chance to experiment. Like, there's a good side to it. Like, if you don't have an SOP to work with, you get that much freedom, that much fluidity, that much flow to work with. So yeah, it's all about, I think, how applicants or how candidates take it. But those are the 2 points that I feel, that can be mentioned about WhenPlay.
Okay, great. So the next thing, what is your philosophy around compensation for technical members, keeping in mind the competition currently?
Just to add there, not for the existing team members who are already there, or not talking about the salary structure or something like that here. But since now you guys are hiring for techies, you must be seeing this. There's a huge competition, and people are playing around, and people are not playing around is it's not the right word to say, but people are taking offers from multiple companies, and salary is something that people are hopping around. So from that perspective, what is your side of the story? How are you playing it?
I guess sticking to the order. So we've actually again taken a bit of a stance on this. From the beginning, we've tried to be very transparent about our compensation structure. In fact, you can find out about that on careers.even.in, and there is we made the levels and the compensation fully available to everybody. It's actually to the point where I think other startups have used it as a benchmark. And we believe one of the first things that I was struck by, so I have been working on the idea of Even for over 2 years now, but I moved full-time to India this year in February. And one of the first things that I was struck by when I was hiring for the first time here is that there's a huge variance in salaries, right? And even people with the similar levels of experience and skill will end up getting very different compensation packages. And we think that that's ultimately something that fosters resentment within a team. And so we wanted to be pretty transparent about what the compensation structure was. So we published what our levels would be. This is for tech and non-tech roles. But we published all our levels and what the compensation would be. And we operate on a first and best offer. So we don't negotiate. We make the offer that we think is proportionate to your kind of current expectations and skill level. And we basically stick to that. We think we have a pretty generous compensation package across all levels. And so we haven't had an issue where that was below the expectations of the candidates. And we think that in the long run, this is going to be helpful, because then people won't find out that their desk mate is making 10 lakh more than them, even though they do exactly the same job. And so that's obviously, even since February, things have changed a bit and salaries have increased, especially for tech roles. And so we might need to revise the compensation packages at some point, but we will stick to making it, public and transparent. And I think that just makes the initial conversation a little bit more painful, where people expect to negotiate, they expect to get a little bit more and so on. But then if you can get past that initial point, if we find that it's a lot easier in the long run. And crucially, I think it filters out people that are just motivated by, that kind of negotiation and just fetching that slightly higher offer, right? We are pretty upfront. Even in the beginning, we showed this is what you can expect. And so there's no misalignment of expectations or anything like that. So we found that it can be helpful. Obviously, sometimes it makes it so that people might feel they need to come in at a higher level and so on, and then we have to convince them that they should stick to us. We still give a lot of equity anyway, and then they get promoted if they do well internally. So yeah, that's the framework that we've adopted at Even.
So when you say you have a transparent policy around that, and you have made these figures transparent for tech, non-tech, across all experience levels, and then you also say that you don't negotiate. So as a candidate, can I get the access to this information before even applying to your role? Have you put it
Yeah,
out
absolutely.
somewhere?
Even anybody watching right now, as I said, they can go to careers.even.in, and there's a page there that explains a bit about the culture, about even some job openings and so on. And then there's a compensation section that has this. It's literally a table that says, CTC and equity, what you can expect. We've grown a lot.
Thing.
Sorry?
That's a great thing to do, putting this information out and making it public.
Yeah, I think it's a gamble that we took initially. We were told that this will never work in India, and you're being hopelessly naive. But so far so good. And yeah, it's we've grown a bit, so those numbers will probably get revised, and salaries have also grown a bit, so we'll revise them. But when we revise them, it's also because the team has signed off on them, and it'll still be public.
Yeah. So a kind of similarity we also share with you at Cutshort. All our salaries are transparent. Everyone can see each other's salary and all of that. Plus, we also have no negotiation policy. We try to give our best offer, and then we don't negotiate. Yeah. And that is also out in the public domain. It's working quite well for us. Other than that, we don't have a table sort of thing, but we have a salary calculator. So depending on the experience and depending on the skills that you're coming on board with and all of that, the calculator calculates the salary, and that
makes sense. Yeah.
And we also keep on revising. Once we revise, that revision also translates to the existing member salaries. So and pretty quick. So every 6 months we do those kind of revisions, and it's working pretty well for us. I have not seen any single challenge with that. We are in fact attracting the right kind of talent because of that.
Yeah, I think it sets the right selection bias, right? You get people that are motivated by the mission, and don't try to spend weeks negotiating with you and getting one offer from there, another offer from somewhere else, right? We think it saves time and pain.
Great, good to know that. Over to you, Jacinder.
Yeah, so the situation has been quite fluid with us, right, based on the growth that we have seen. But some of the best people that we worked with, right, are people that are able to connect with the kind of work we're doing, and also able to see the kind of growth and returns that they'll actually see in the long term, right? So we have people who probably making say 50-60 lakhs a year sort of a thing, which is a salary we cannot afford today, but are willing to come in at a significant haircut from there because they believe the mission and they believe they'll be able to make up much more in the long run, right? So that's one, right? What we have been able to do in the recent past is be in a position to hire for more senior positions as we have grown. So that's one. And second is when it comes to things like raises, we don't really wait for the end of the year, right? If you're seeing people are performing right in the middle of the year, having an increment or multiple increments in the year is not unheard of. And also rewarding people during the year, not just by say increments, but also other rewards, just to recognize that people are doing a good job, right? That is also something that happens from time to time, right? So and for a senior candidate that understand the value of equity, that is also something that is offered. So that's basically how it works here.
Okay, I think it's very well summed by Jacinder. I don't have much to add. Just one thing, that during our hiring process, we have had our fair share of shoppers who have who have gone through all the rounds, who have done all the gone through all the process, but just at the time of joining, they tend to just not show up, not turn up. For this, I think whatever we can but out of these there have been certain people who have joined, so we feel that it's more of a personal choice that people make. We have very little control on what they do. One is that. Apart from that, as Alessandro mentioned, that and even Cutshort, like you have a no negotiation kind of policy. Same goes with WhenPlay. We have a budget to stick to. We have certain targets. We have certain plans. So we are never going to go overboard with that. We're never going to jump that. So yes, as per your skills, as per your interests, whatever is the best salary, we will offer that, and it's going to be like on a purely non-negotiable basis. And yeah, mainly like more than the compensation, I feel connecting with the mission of the company, connecting with the vision, like what do you see yourself working towards that purpose, and do you really see yourself contributing towards building that thing? So that, I think that is something that we are focusing more right now. Earlier we did this mistake, we did not focus that much on the connect that people were having with the company. We were just looking at skills, but now we are improving on that, and looking at people who have that kind of connect, and yeah, and people who understand that, they know that for now compensation is something that can be that can be put on the back burner, and growth is something which they should look forward to in the coming months. So yeah, that's about it.
So thank you all of you for sharing about your compensation as well. So we have some time left, and we have some interesting rapid fire questions for you guys. 4 to 5 questions, not a lot. So I'll ask one question, and any of you can go first. Let's try to keep the answers in 1 or 2 lines, so that we can accommodate more number of questions, and all of you can reply as well. So let's start with the first one. These are like quick, interesting questions, a little bit of fun side as well. So what is your biggest fear before you get on the first call with any candidate?
Good question.
That they're just thinking about salary.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, I think probably that they're not going to be a good communicator, and that it's going to be difficult to establish a rapport and really kind of get to know each other.
Got it.
Yeah, that we don't end up wasting too much time, I guess.
Yeah, second that.
Okay. Second question: what can get an employee fired immediately from your company? Like something that they do and you don't even give second thoughts. Like
Ethics.
Fired.
Ethics. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll probably have one strike for that, but that's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, either something to do with the user data or intentional, misuse of the role and so on.
Yep. Ethics.
Anything specific you would like to point in ethics?
Specific, I think mostly it's like when I say ethics, it's mostly related to work ethics. I think it's mostly into right from basics of professionalism, like whether you're doing your work on time, whether you are meeting your deadlines, to tampering or handling of user data, how you are working with your clients, and how's the overall work ethic going on. So I think that's about it in terms of ethics. Yeah.
One example that I can give you, especially if you work remotely, right? You will always find a certain section of people who will say continue to work in multiple places or freelance or something like that. And yeah, so when you work remotely, trust has to be very, very high, right? So
yeah. Okay. So next, what is the first thing that you notice when a candidate walks inside your interview room or your Zoom call, whatever it is right now? So first thing, it can be a physical thing, it can be
probably height. Yeah, I'm never able to guess the height well, especially after I interview them on the phone and then see them in person. I'm always surprised. But yeah, that's, I don't know, maybe not a very intelligent answer.
Okay.
I think the lighting plays a important role at the time of interview. So if you're having these remote calls, I'm always curious about, okay, let the lighting be good. So you should be able to see each other's face and the connection and everything. So I know it's like a basic thing, but yeah, makes a difference.
Okay.
There's something intangible that a person's level of awareness in life that comes through in the first few minutes, maybe, or maybe even seconds of talking. And it's a gut feel. You try not to judge, but more often than not, it is a good indicator of a good candidate versus a bad candidate. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah.
Probably what they communicate, the first few lines that they talk about, something like that.
It starts from a vibe, but yes, communication is a part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So any phrase that you hate or despise hearing during an interview?
Incomplete sentences.
Okay.
Can I answer that? For me, it's to be honest.
I think when someone,
to be honest,
Makes me crazy, to be honest.
I think for me a red flag is when someone really stresses on very specific parts of their job, like when they're like, okay, so I will have, so you just have to, when the candidate insists you on like walking you through the exact steps of what they'll be working on. So that's like a red flag for me when they say, okay, so first I'll do this, then I'll do that, then what working hours. So when the candidate gets too much into the details of like hand-holding of explaining them the job description, then it becomes then I don't take it very well.
For me, I mean, this is going to be controversial, but for me, if somebody is on too much emphasis on work-life balance and too little emphasis into believing in the mission, or like why they think that they would love it, like why even and not something else, right? And all they talk about is work-life balance. That's a big red flag for me.
Got it. So next, as a candidate, if I want to pitch myself for a role, how do I approach? How do I approach you? And is there a perfect time or a good time for me to approach you that I get the attention immediately? Anything like that?
I try to reply to all incoming, at least the ones that I receive on email or LinkedIn. I do reply, so it doesn't matter.
So the kind of roles that we have, right, in tech, it's basically backend, front-end, full stack. Typically, PHP has to be a part of your arsenal. But if you believe that there is some aspect of your skills where you're in the top 5% of the people, top 1% of the people, it doesn't matter what your other weaknesses are. It doesn't matter whether you didn't score well in college. Doesn't matter if you're not into programming contests or whatever. But if there is one or two things that you're really, really good at, better than anyone else, reach out, right? And this is not limited to tech, right? Be it marketing, sales, whatever it is. If you can reach out, maybe it's a project, right? We're big on projects, right? So we hire more people for the kind of real life projects that they have worked on than anything else, right? So if you have that, you can showcase that. I think you have a very good shot of getting through.
Sure. For me, it would be so there's no best time to, like, there's always a good time to get in touch, because everything has become mobile. So I instantly reply to most of my applications. Other thing is that what you can do extra is that I wouldn't say it's extra. It's a pretty basic need, which in India it's not followed much. The tradition of sending cover letters. So when you send a cover letter, you have to, like you mentioned, some reasons why you would be good for the role. And like probably if we were sitting in the US and talking about this, maybe this would not be an expectation. But here, since we're working, I would say that a cover letter stating what stands you out, what makes you special for this role, would be highly appreciated for this role.
If I might just add, right? So one is the skill, and second is why you think you connect with what we are doing. So whenever we have seen the connect as well as the skill, it's worked out well.
Okay, great. So last thing, I'm not sure if all of you will be able to share this one thing, but something quirky about your company, something fun or something different or quirky about your company, anything, any one small thing as well.
Okay, so we are big meme lovers. we are all like pure memeists, if I may, and we like memes, we like puns. You head to our Instagram page. It's like we try to have a lot of fun about that. And yeah, I mean, someone to really have fun at like, and even connect with WhenPlay's culture is that we feel that people should be able to make and take a joke. So just keeping things light, and yeah, bring your dogs to office.
Yeah, I think that is the quirky part, that like you guys are pet friendly office. Yeah, that is.
Where is your office, Bitesh?
It's in Pune.
Where in Pune?
It's in PCMC area, Nigdi.
Nigri.
Yeah.
Is it a co-working space?
No, it's something. It was earlier a garage, so I revamped it, put a table and everything, and it's like in my own home's backyard. So we are working from there.
Nice.
It can accommodate up to 8 to 10 guys, people. So yeah.
Okay.
I think Alessandro, you're saying something.
Yeah, I guess not sure if it's really quirky, but I think we're all food buffs. So in the beginning, we had this. Even when the team was just like 10 people or so, everybody would like try to outshine each other by bringing some homemade food to the office. And we've got some pretty good cooks. And any occasion that there is, even like just like sometimes because we're hungry or whatever, order food for everybody, or if we're staying late, or if we're staying the weekend, or if it's a Friday, we'll just or if it's somebody's first day, literally like we'll find any excuse so that there's a lot of food at all times being supplied.
That's nice.
Yes, I think one thing that does stand out at Sarcon is most people have at least one very strong interest outside of their work, right? So you'll have someone that is a slow fashion ambassador to someone else who's a professional chess player, and someone who's a scuba diver, right? I'm myself a failed musician, and so we encourage people to bring their complete self to work, right? You don't need to hide what else you are passionate about. That is what makes you who you are, and we encourage that. Yeah, and I look forward to more people with a well-rounded interest in life. Yeah, I think it helps.
Okay. So I think thanks everyone. I believe this particular bit helped the candidates see some interesting sides of your company as well, apart from the serious sides. Last quick thing before we wrap up. Let's have a quick pitch to the candidates. We usually ask the candidates to pitch themselves or sell themselves to us, right? So let's have a quick pitch for them. We can go in the format like what is it we are doing, join us for this, and don't join us for this.
Cool. I'll go.
Yes.
So we are a WhenPlay, and we are the world's first DIY career planning platform. And we are here basically to make a dent on the traditional career counseling platforms that have been going on. We want to make the whole process less counselor dependent and more self-driven, so that people know what they're getting into. And yeah, we basically want to help people lead happier lives, do what they're good at, do what is serving their purpose. So yes, if you want to help people have more meaningful lives, and while adding meaning to your life as well, please do apply. Please do not apply to WhenPlay if you're looking for a set standard operating manual, and you're looking to just have a like a very quick job switch. Like for a short term, you will come for 6-8 months, and then you'll look for a job switch. So please do not apply, because we will not be able to. There would be a big misalignment in terms of our needs and requirements. So yeah, that's about WhenPlay.
So Sarcon is basically an award-winning 3D virtual and hybrid events platform. So I covered this in the first part, so I'll have to be a little repetitive, but events of any type, be it an exhibition or a conference or even a virtual wedding, we have features that can make that happen, right? So right from, say, virtual business cards that you exchange to networking lounges for people to interact, right? So we're creating immersive experiences over here, and what's happened in the process is that additional markets have opened up, right? So we have someone that's using our platform as a virtual office 365 days in a year, right? Someone else wants to use it as a virtual mall, right? So what you're building is the future, basically, over here, right? And what we're doing is at the confluence of AR, VR, IoT, blockchain, AI, right? A lot of it we are not already working on, but if those are of interest to you, then this is a great playground, because the business cases for those exist. So you will have the encouragement to work there, right? But there is enough interesting stuff already, right? And second is, if you're looking for a job where you want a lot of responsibilities, right? You just don't want to work on one small module, right? You want to work on something where you can see the impact of that tomorrow, right? You can see an HP or a Microsoft use your product and see how that benefits them, to see a couple that's getting married virtually with all their relatives from 5 continents coming and being a part of that experience, right? And then even in terms of the way we are building the company is that it's not just the work, but people who stick with us for the long run, right? This is a for-profit venture, right? So we make sure that the eventual outcome for you, right, is good monetarily as well, right? And which is why we have the people who are working with us as of today, right? So yeah, so if you're really interested in what you do, you want to push yourself, right, and have a shot at outsized returns, right, then this is the right place. This is not the right place if you're looking for a standard 9 to 5, right? I don't want to give work-life balance a bad name, but I think I'm a little tempted by my other panelists as well, right? They can't be too much focused on that. You definitely need that. You need balance in life, but it's not going to be like a standard 9 to 5 check in, check out sort of a thing, right? But otherwise, you'll work on interesting stuff. You'll see the impact of that happening, and yeah, that is about it. Yeah.
So I think it's very simple. You should join even if you want to change healthcare in India for the better. And if that mission speaks to you, then, and you want to work on a modern tech stack, well, you'll have a lot of say, especially since now it's early on, and you take pride in building good, efficient technical systems, then we might be the right place for you.
Great. So thank you so much. Thanks, Jay, Chander, thanks, Gitesh and Ale. Thanks for joining today. I believe candidates, this must have been very helpful for the candidates as well. So for the next steps, candidates, you guys have already listened to the founder speak. If you guys have liked it, we have asked them to post comments on the post that we had on LinkedIn. We'll be sharing the links with you guys. You guys can go like the comments for the companies that you have liked. And the most liked comment, like we have multiple times said before as well, they will be getting the badge of the most popular company in Tectonic at the end of this event. So yes, please go ahead and like. And for the founders out here, we'll be requesting candidates will start applying for your jobs. So if you guys have other jobs that you are hiring for as well, please feel free to create them, add them to the event, and please make sure that you go through the candidates and either accept or reject them. They get closure as well as fast as possible. So yes, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for joining. A great event today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, team. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.